Onko se kapean puoleinen? Hei. Hello people. Ootapa vähäsen. Tämä hiiman matkaan. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers and everybody else as well.
Hello everybody.
It is Mother's Day here in Finland at least, and probably in some other places. So hopefully you are now. Ootapa hetkonen, ootapa hetkonen. Oh, thank you, Toby. Jaha, Dad is here. It is May and time to. Hello, says Dad. It is time to get some birch sap. Look, it's a little bit on the small side, says Dad, the birch. It is a wonderful day. It's been quite snowy the other days. Mother is she just went in. Oh, it's immediately. Look. Siirrykö ihan pikkusen, kiitos. You see that? There's immediately a lot of birch sap running out from there. So that is so quick that he was already drilling while I was just starting the broadcast. So this is what this time is now for birch sap collecting. Se olet siinä varjona. Pitää pikkusen siirtää, kiitos. It's going to. Now you can't really see because it's the same color as the pipe. Jaha, Kolja is looking what's happened. Hey, Pinesalo. It is in some form. It is in some form sold, but and there are some companies that do that in Finland as well. And they sell it abroad. Dad doesn't have rubber boots. He would want to go and do that particular birch over there. So yes, let me now explain you a little bit. Now that Dad was so fast that he already put a bottle in there. So May, the birch is soon going to get its leaves, and that's why the sap has started flowing. So, oh Joma. Ja, nog een keer fijne moedersdag, oma. So yes, spring leaves are coming, and the birch is taking its running its sap up to the branches.
That says that in 5 hours the bottle is full.
Yeah, that says that in 5 hours that bottle will be full. So you already see a little tiny bit of something in the tips of the birch trees. What do you personally use birch sap for? As an energizing drink. That's what we do. Ah, excellent. So that's what Mom and Dad, they freeze it.
Xylitol is made from birch.
Yeah, xylitol is a birch sugar, and that's made out of this birch sap. But this birch sap is a completely different kind than the one or what you get from an maple, for instance. That's much thicker, much more sugar in it. But this is just basically, it's almost like water, but it's just like sweet water. Miten se oli, että silloin, että metsurit, eikö se ollut niin, että metsurit jotkut tekee niin, että kun ne sahaa koivun poikki tiettyyn aikaan, ne tekee siihen niinku kolon.
Kuopan.
Joo.
Kuopan voitaa sitten, sitä saa juo.
So what if in the springtime an lumberjack takes down a birch tree, then what they can do is like they cut a sort of a bowl into it, and then the sap collects into that bowl, and you can drink from that. But so it is the time now when all the nature is slowly starting to come alive. Just a couple of days ago we got still 10 centimeters of snow, but as you see, it's all gone. It was
Ja,
already
kennen,
gone in
kennen
one
maar
day.
van Nemo.
And
Koska Raisa on ihan täällä tienä.
it's like this week it's going to be maybe 16 degrees. Hey, Hellevi. So it's going to be very warm this week, at least for a couple of days. But for now, there is still snow and it's covering a lot of the like here. Hey, Kimberly, nice to see you. Look, I will show you again. That was so fast that you have to like see the rerun of the beginning if you want to see the how he put that birch sap uh, bottle there. I will show it to you in a second. But yeah, so even though there's snow everywhere, it's all already starting really to get ready for the summer, to put it that way. Yeah, it'll definitely still take a while for the snow to melt, although it goes quick then when it starts happening. There are maple trees in the south of Finland, but not here in that Lapland. The kind of trees that we have here, the type is it's quite limited. You see that neighbor over there. The like here you see birch. It's this one, the black and white one. Then there's different kinds of willows, and like that tree there, it is also a willow type, but it's called raita. Raita is a stripe. Kolja there, always along following, checking out what's happening. So, but this is now that the weather is a little bit warmer, a little bit warmer. Yeah, we are collecting birch sap, and that's what Dad has been doing now, actually for several days already in Veitservassa, also where the Halipu forest is as well. So I don't think that they really make maple syrup in Finland. We don't have that large, like maple forests or anything. But
There's only part of it is going into the bottle.
yeah, part of it is running out. Yeah, you would chewing gum or no. How can I always forget that word? The thick sap from the pine trees.
Yeah, not amber, resin.
Resin, exactly. So that's what you could use. So now that here's the bottle where the sap is collecting into. Sorry. You see that it's dripping. You can see the you see that's where the drops fall. They come via this tube, and Dad just made a hole in this birch tree. And so what you could do is put something around the hole so that it doesn't leak. Because now some of the sap, just as you see, falls down the trunk of the tree. And not much though. There's some, but it's not bad. Most of it really goes into the bottle. And that you can already see. Hey, Monica! You can see how the trunk of the birch is already changing as well. It's really funny. In the wintertime, these are quite rough, the birches. Oh, thank you. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. It's, I don't know, a lot of countries have Mother's Day now, don't they? Finland at least, and a lot of other European countries as well. Oh yeah, you're in Passau, right? How's your sister celebrating Mother's Day? We are actually at my sister's place, and she has over there. She has made an what is it? Ai, ei se minustakaan tuntunut siltä, että se olisi ollut kovin paljon. She has made a cake, and then I brought some cheeses and things. Oh yeah, I heard Stefan's mother was just saying it's going to be like 26 degrees in the Netherlands today. So that's quite a different from here. It's not bad here now either. It's about 8 degrees. So for us, it's like a spring day, but it could be a bit warmer. I wouldn't mind. This week it's going to be plus 16, so that's at least nice, you know. But here you see already how like this snow. Yeah, there is, and there will be for a while still. You see how this is? Look. Later in the afternoon you're going to sink, says Stefan. Me käydään katsomassa vähän, että miltä täällä näyttää. Let's go and see. I might be sinking in a second. Stefan is lighter than me, so he doesn't sink. Huh? Well, yeah, that's true, but it is. That's exactly what. To walk a bit slowly so that you don't wave too much either, otherwise you get seasick. I'm trying to quite carefully walk. That happens to me every now and then, and this is exactly the kind of time when you can really get stuck. And then because you're not wearing so much clothes anymore, or one is not, I am not. I don't know what you are wearing, but since it's not so, the air is not so cold, so then I don't, like now I don't wear anything between my trousers and my, well, I don't have like long johns or anything. So then if you sink, then you get wet because the snow is really wet. And then you get really cold. So you better not go too far from home. Now, Stefan walks so fast, but I'm a bit careful about, I'm afraid that I will sink. Sort of trying to walk in his footsteps because that has already pressed together once, so it's a bit safer. this is I'm trying to hold the phone a little bit stable and then look at my feet at the same time. This is a bit tricky. One has to have special skills when one lives in a place like this. Do you hear that? The river. If you're wondering why we haven't been to our own forest now for a while, it's really hard to get there at the moment because of all the mushy snow and because of it being in the forest. There's quite a bit of snow there, and it's very uh, thick and mushy. So I have to make sure that Kolja doesn't like fall in the river or something. Wants to go there to check out the fish. Oh, now the sun is shining. It's so nice. Any good trees? Let's see. That birch tree looks good. That's also because it doesn't have any snow at the foot. We can go there. Look, there's the fell. There's Levi. There's the road. There's the sun. It's a gorgeous day actually. In the sunshine, it's really warm and lovely here. We can go close to that birch tree. Wait. Oh, we gave as a birthday present to Rise, my sister's son. We gave him like this, one of these very strong magnets with a rope in it, fishing magnet, with which you can like get all kinds of junk out of the water. Obviously, there's not a lot of junk in the water here, but there might be, like fishing hooks and things like that you could find. Look, here's a tree to hug. It doesn't get very sharp, does it? Maybe I can't just see it. This one is still a little bit more sort of rough compared to the tree that we just saw. Look, like from this side, it still has the sort of winter bark. You know, this is much more harsh and sort of thick. You see here? But then if you look from the other side, there's already a little bit in the sunny side, there's already a little bit more of the soft, beautiful silk-like layer on top of the birch. Here, let's hug this tree a little bit. Hmm. Oh, look at the beautiful blue sky. Gorgeous weather. It's really funny the way that this birch works. So obviously also the winter skin of the tree also has to be more sturdy, you know, and because when all the sap goes out and all the life goes into the roots, yeah, it is a bit. That's how birch works. So that's the kind of the difference between how a birch is in the summertime and in the wintertime. It's quite awesome actually. Oh, these are here we have all the willows. Very often at this time there's already much more going on with the willows. Did you see, were there any of those kittens this year? I haven't seen them either. So have they even not come yet? They must have. Otherwise it's really late. Oh, here, look. Here. Yeah. So they just simply haven't been yet. Wow. You see? Again, I forgot what this is in English. You know, they're called willow kittens in Finnish. You know, these soft furry things. What did you say? Do you see them there? Well, that's actually a rowan tree. Yeah, that's a rowan tree though. Look at that. The river is free. There's not that terribly much, what is it? Flood. I'm just forgetting all my English words. There's not a lot of flooding this year, most likely, because the amount of snow has been so much less, and it's been sort of melting a bit sporadically. So some, and then it's freezing again, and then another sort of wave of melting. I don't know, he just ran to the other side and then he ran back home, I think. So that's where my sister's house is. We're sort of on the other side. You see that? You hear all the bloop 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 bloop.
So that's because actually this part of the water, there's a lot of water going through here. Part of the water is going there, but there's another part of the water which actually goes, there's tunnels of this, you can see it here already there. There's water coming
Oh,
from in
thank you,
between
Tom.
the rocks, you see?
Yeah.
So there's part of the water is going through tunnels in the rocks here, and then comes out from there.
So not only from the
So
from the.
that loop, 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 loop that you hear, part of that is the water going through those tunnels.
Is it so?
Yeah,
Okay.
I spent some time last year listening to it and looking at it. So
Very good.
you can see that you see there as well. You see that there's water coming from the sides. So there's water that comes through the crevices between the rocks. They make tunnels, and the water cleans it out. You know? So there's like
Terve Pärssisen Timo. Ennemminkin puupäähenkilö. Timo sanoo terve.
terve. Well, I think that's interesting that he does that.
Yeah, I like that too. Hyvää äitienpäivää sinne teidän suuntaan, Timo. So over there, the river is actually a lot wider there. It's a bit more shallow as well. But this is the. I mean, we've been telling you that before, but this is the crazy river, the goofy river, that sort of runs to the wrong direction. And that's
It only runs to the direction for a short bit.
Yeah.
Comes from the lake
Höperöjoki.
to the south of here, then goes north for several kilometers, ends up basically
In a
ends
big-
up where the
Is a really big
another
river there.
meets the lake.
Yeah.
So this water ends up in Ounasjoki as well. Like everything
River
else here.
Ounas is the biggest river in this area.
But
and
it's
that
the
is a-
longest free-flowing river in Europe, I think.
Longest free-flowing river in Europe. I think it was like that. Yeah. So that's the big river of the area, and that's to which this little goofy river is running
Yeah,
to.
all
That's-
the water from this
Yeah.
area goes there, basically.
and that is sort of, there's a lot of songs written about it, and it's one of those. Äitienpäivä Timo, ai niin, Timon päiväkin, onneksi olkoon.
Onneksi olkoon.
Eurooppa-päivä is the day of Europe today as well. I didn't even notice.
Might be.
That's
What is
terrible.
it? The 10th today?
No, it's the 9th, isn't it?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. I thought yesterday was the 8th. I've got no idea what day it is.
It's the 9th. There,
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah. Let's go and look at these trees still a little bit. Here I most likely look. I've got my big boots on, but I'm probably going to sink. What's holiday in Europe? Maybe Timo can tell you a bit more about what Eurooppa-päivä is, because I honestly had missed that as well. I guess it's a sort of, you could compare it to the Independence Day, but it's got nothing to do with independence, but celebration of Europe being together. I mean, that's the thing that people forget about at the moment, how important EU actually is for the well-being of the whole area and for the peace in the area. Yeah, because back in just a few decades ago, all the countries in this area were in war, and now it's been decades of peace, and the people of my age and older as well, we have never experienced the situation where the country would have been in war, but that's like quite unique in the history of Europe. So we've been a bit spoiled in that sense. Our generation keeps forgetting how important it is, what it actually means. Look at that. That's the bridge from the other side. Some planks and things here that have probably come with the floods of previous years. Often at riversides like this, the trees that are growing, they're not. This is usually not a happy place for trees to grow, so they are often faulty in some ways. Or like this pine tree grows a bit funny as well. Doing well as such, but it's very different than the ones that we have in the forest. The day in 1950, a new European cooperation was suggested by. Okay, yeah. So it is kind of a to celebrate the unity, the cooperation. Shall we walk back?
Yeah.
If I now it's another direction of me trying to walk really careful and not wave with the phone too much. Look at that nice little tree. That'll be a funny little Christmas tree at some point. Oh, the idea of EU was kind of born then, right? So it's very much in that sense a Independence Day. Stefan had better rescue. Yeah, he will. At least on a Mother's Day like this. That's a funny looking stick. What has happened to that? Some probably a rabbit has eaten it.
Yeah. Or some rodents.
Looks like
yeah.
it. No, but usually the rabbits eat the outer layer of the
Yeah.
of the. That's actually funny. I don't think I've ever seen something like this. You see? Because in the winter
bark,
time,
the top layer
you
has
see that
been
the bark
eaten
has
off.
been eaten. You can see that it's been really munched away by
Yeah.
something.
The
So yeah,
rabbits do that, but I'm not sure if Mura, for instance, does that
no,
as
it
well.
wouldn't do this big. I mean, it would take a few bites and then it will go to the next thing.
Yeah, but I mean, when there has been like a nest over there, clearly rabbits.
Yeah, so it's been a rabbit.
But I mean, this has clearly been happening over a longer time.
Yeah, no, that's funny.
Of course, those animals in the winter time, there's a lot of snow. They don't move. The circle is very small. They move in circles.
Yeah, compared to what it is in the summertime, of course.
And summertime,
That's really funny. That's really eaten like very properly. You have to
yeah,
wash your hands though, man.
yeah, and just for the winter.
Ah, you see? And of course, a lot of these animals in the winter time, they have to eat what they can get, and there's not that much to get in a place like this when there's everything is covered with snow, you know. And that is myyrrakumeriski. Tuo oli jäniksen tekemisiä, mutta
And you look, there's like several branches on the tree where they have been
like there, for instance, but not a whole thing like that. That's where.
really been a dinner table.
Yeah. But as Timo is saying, myyrrakuumeriski, so asking that you do have to be a bit careful when touching stuff like that. But so from you can find piles of poop of different kinds of animals here, and then you can see where they've been spending time and what they have been eating in that area. But that's often Raisa had some. She had some apple trees here, and as apple doesn't really grow by itself, this is not an area where apple is a would like naturally grow or appear. All the apple trees are really planted, and well, I mean, of course, in most places they are, but like the the apple trees that she had, I mean, she was trying to take good care of them and trying to protect them properly, but still, the other winter they were eaten by the rabbits, so they eat the top layer of the peel of the tree trunk. I don't know what it's called, and then the tree dies, of course. Where are those apple trees planted? They were those particular of my sisters. They were planted there, close to that birch tree over there. But yeah, they were eaten by the animals. You hear what happens? Trying to stay afloat here and trying to get to a safe place. This is over here. People haven't been walking so much, so this is sort of this is a risky place. Well, so did I, Tommy. Do you get in the apple harvest or not? People do who really tend to the apple trees, but as said, it's and it's certainly hard to start uh, growing an apple tree, you know, like to get a young tree to really stay alive long enough to start making apples. But I mean, you get the kind of, there's only a very few. Hey, Jane, nice to see you. There's only very few kinds of apple apple trees that can manage here, that can survive. Let's still go. I will still, before we go eat and have a cake with my sister, my mother. Oh, thank you for that. Let's still go and look at that bottle of birch sap. See if it has been getting any fuller. So we'll see how much is leaking and how much is actually going into the bottle. So now we've been, it's 1/2 past, so we've been walking. It was like Dad made that hole half an hour ago. Now we can see. Yeah, clearly. Well, but it's not too bad. You see? So now at the bottom of that bottle, there's like 1.5 centimeters of water, birch sap.
And
So it'll,
don't forget, so this is only a very small bit
this is
of the amount that the birch is pumping up.
yeah,
But there's immense amount
there's
of water
hundreds
going
of liters of water
per day.
per day in the if you take a big birch tree.
Yeah, there's
Like
the one over there. There's several bigger
there's,
ones.
yeah, like that one would already pump quite a bit of sap water in the branches. Yeah, now it's
The
still,
leaves are for the largest part water, of course.
yeah. So it needs to,
Water has come from somewhere.
in order to grow, it needs to do that. In the springtime, it just starts pumping water from the ground through its trunk into the branches, and then it grows the leaves and what are they called? Those, they're not blossoms because they're, you know, I mean they are sort of. Kyllä, kato, tuossa sitä tulee. So it's I don't know if it's the best time to collect birch sap yet, but it is already running, and I think that Dad has been already for a week collecting birch sap. And that birch sap is it's a health drink, and we freeze it. That's how we keep it good, because it goes bad rather quickly if you just put it in the fridge. And you can't really boil it into syrup because the sugar content isn't that high. I mean, there is the birch sugar, the so-called xylitol, that's made out of birch sugar. But if you would start boiling it, my aunt once did it, but basically there was nothing left in the nothing left in the pot when she was finished. So it is. Hey, John. Good afternoon. Look, there's our birch sap collecting. So we Dad made the hole half an hour ago, and now it's like, well, it's almost 2 centimeters already, 1.5 to 2 centimeters. It's completely clear, so you wouldn't even recognize that it is anything but water if you just saw it in a bottle. You can taste it, of course. It is sweet, and it is. I would have to look it up at some point. What kind of consistency it has? It has, of course, all kinds of like vitamins and electrolytes and whatever. But so so it is something that people back in the days in the springtime would really drink to sort of heal after the winter. On the other hand, of course, it's also sheerly the feeling of it, when the sun starts shining and the life starts returning to your surroundings. I mean, after the dark period and after all the snow and after all the cold, it's wonderful when the spring arrives. And it's so glorious when you start getting stuff from from the nature. You start being able to forage things again. You notice, by the way, there's like a slight greenish tint in the trees already. Those are the first trees to get any kind of buds, leaves and things. Oh, thank you for subscribing, Seren. Hiirenkorvat, mouse ears. Yeah, mouse ears. That's what we call when the leaves are just growing. Yeah. Thank you, John. Does the birch tree filter the water coming from soil so the sap is always safe to drink? As far as I know, yes. I mean, it definitely filters it. I don't know if there's something from the. I mean, in general, when you forage, whatever you forage, you should only take it from fairly clean areas because, for instance, if you pick mushrooms or whatever, it does. In mushrooms, you really get the what is it? Epäpuhtaudet, the poisons and uncleanliness from the ground if there is any. You see, this is not yet hiirenkorvat because they're not out yet, but this is the it is yeah, it is already bulbed. It is a lovely day and it is Mother's Day and that's what we're going to now then do. That's why I'm not going to broadcast for any longer because my sister there in that house, she has made a cake. What is kinuski in English? It's sort of a toffee. Yeah, it's a sort of a toffee cake, and probably there's berries in it. Most likely, in there's like kinuski and cloudberries in it. Oh, that is one of the Mother's Day classics. Next to a strawberry cake, of course. Are you going to say bye? Oh, thank you, Seren. We are going to say yes. Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
Happy Mother's Day, if it's all the mothers out there,
Yeah, and all the non-mothers and all the
non-mothers.
possible fathers as well, and non-fathers. Everybody. Mother's Day is also about. I guess it's also about like caring about your loved ones. So
Everybody has
so everybody has a mother at least, or well, in one way or another.
Yeah.
So I think it's for everybody. Hey, wonderful that you were here. Nice that I could show you this beautiful sunny day in Lapland. Hey, thank you, thank you. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and have a wonderful week, everybody, as well.
Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye, people. See you next time. Bye bye.